Hello, everyone. Welcome to BizChicks TV. This is a place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And as you can see today, we are talking profits in daily with Coach Caren Fern, all the way from Toronto, Canada. She's in the house, and we are so excited. Coach Karen brings to the table so much experience in a number of different businesses. She's been in fashion, she's been in janitorial services, she's run daycares. This lady is a serial entrepreneur. And because of that, she has a lot of different perspectives on how to run your business and how to run your life. Coach, we are so glad to have you in the
Thank
studio
you.
today. What do you have for us today?
Today we're talking about why money is important.
Oh,
I know we know, but we're going to talk about it.
hey, that it seems so simple, but I don't think we ever sit down and really think about it.
Like we'll say it passes by. I'm going to put my notes right in front of me. I had it to the side, but
Mhm.
yeah, it's looking a little cloudy, so I need to move this closer. I think we might get a sprinkle of rain
Oh,
because it's pretty warm for August in Canada, in Toronto. So we're not complaining. We're
no,
enjoying it. We're not complaining, but just
okay.
say,
There you go.
yeah,
Well, I'm
natural
going
light
to
going in
step
and
to the
out.
side here and let you have the floor.
Okay. So today
Okay.
we're talking about why money is important. And here's the three things. Where's my fingers? Here's the three things we're going to cover. What money does for us in our everyday lives. Why we need to get that sorted out ASAP if you haven't yet. And how will it affect us if we don't do that in the beginning? And when I say the beginning, guys, I mean wherever your beginning is at. Don't be whining and crying and hoping you were 14 or 16 or 22. Wherever you are right now, that's it. Yesterday was yesterday. We're done with that. Okay. We're looking at this today. Okay. So,
Hmm.
number one, what money does for us in our everyday lives.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you this simple thing. Money helps us to come to when we have enough, and I'm not talking about the absorbent amount, but when we have enough, it helps us to say, if you are mindful on this certainty level, this enough level, this place where you know you can do certain things and be okay. When you're in this place, it helps free up the confusion of the mind.
Mm.
And it
Hmm.
helps you to see, even if, and I want to say this caveat, even if when you get news, you burst out at the moment, but you can come back and say, hey, I can still do this, this, and this. You've got this bit of a comfort that will help you to come down faster versus somebody who has nothing sitting around anywhere. And any news is terrible news. I'll put it this way. Any news is terrible news. But when you start understanding your money and your behaviors and the everyday use of it, you're not in panic mode. And when you're out of panic mood, it helps your nervous system. You're less emotionally being attacked at a drop of a hat. You can be in a situation and still be okay. Now, it doesn't cure everything, just so you clear. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm explaining how it helps you in your everyday lives. You still need God. You still need to pray. You still need your quiet time. Those things doesn't disappear. But when you start bringing in money, and the Bible tells us, I can't remember how many times, I think 24, 23 times about money, if you're
Mm.
really reading your Bible, and you get to see how powerful and important it is in your life and what you should do with it. And this goes for everybody. If you're not a good steward, your money, even if you have a lot of it, disappears.
Yes, it does. It doesn't matter how many jobs you work. It doesn't matter how many revenue streams you have. If you don't have a plan,
Bye bye, birdie. Bye bye, birdie. And so it really starts telling on us. If you get up every day and you're worried about the money you're going to be paid at the end of the week because it can't do all the things it needs to do, It doesn't get better unless you sit down with that whole scenario and actually plan for where you want to go so that you can go to work feeling good about yourself and your situation to get you to the next place. I used to tell people when I was washing dishes, I would say, the only reason you're in panic land is because you have no light at the end of the tunnel. If you would just pick up a torchlight and shine it down the line and there was something to see, you wouldn't be so miserable where you're at. Because people used to keep asking me, "Can I know you washing dishes and you're always so happy?" This is temporary, Betty. This is in the meantime. This is what's happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
I am building a community here. I am gathering friendships because I'm new to the country. You guys, a bunch of people opened their arms to me and invited me in. And I get one of the best supervisors who, over, a little period of time, it raised my pay from $6.69 to $8.50 to $8, sorry, an hour. She didn't do all the in between shenanigans, 25.50. No, she went straight to the $8. And yes, everybody else was making more than me. And they tell me, and they even advised me to go back and ask some more because of where they were at. And I said, no, she's doing good. We're good at the $8. Let's not worry about that because I didn't come to stay. So asking for more money wasn't in my best interest.
I hear you. You weren't trying to make a career there.
It was so good, such a good job because I can go to school. I can go physically to school and I can study. Those days wasn't online, but I was paper mail. I could study correspondently to school. So I could hit two birds and still hold on to my full-time job with full benefit. I wasn't arguing my $8 an hour. You see, it's what I did with $8 an hour that made sense because the people that was making 12 and 15 and 17 was still in way more trouble than I was. And I know because we would sit and talk over lunch periods and people would just ask me a lot of questions. I didn't realize at the time it's where they were at. They didn't tell me right away. And they're like, how are you doing this? And I was like, well, because I know in my head, it wasn't a big deal to say, well, what are you getting paid? And what are you doing with your money? And why you don't have any left? And what's the next game plan after you finish here? And everybody would look at me like, game plan? I work here full time.
Yes, I call it my happiness plan.
Exactly. So money, when you start understanding what happened with your money, your continuous daily things that you do, even when they're hard, there's something at the end. You're really looking after what you're putting in versus what's coming out. So what you're putting in inside of you, meaning what you're telling yourself on a regular basis, what the plans are you working the plans? And guys, the best way to work your plans is in micro steps. Don't worry the big hog. Micro steps, that's it. When you do things in micro steps, you can do so much more in a day. So if you had to build a website, let's say that was a skill you learned and you want to build a website, right? You would go and watch a couple of videos. Let's say you had some idea, but watch some videos and watch them. Don't do anything, just take it in. And let's say 30-minute video. Then take a break, go do something and come back and then spend the other 30 minutes, which probably going to turn into an hour because you're going to pause a lot and you're going to take notes on what the instructor, because YouTube, they are instructors telling you how to set up this simple website. Let's say that's what you're doing. Then I want you to go away and every day I want you to do a little tiny bit of what he or she had instructed you to do. Because you're going to plan, once you finish notes, you're going to plan to build a website within a week or within 2 weeks, rather than I'm going to get it done today. And so every day you're going to have 5 to 7 things, micro things that you're going to do. If you didn't have hosting, you'll get hosting, you'll get your domain, and you'll see that it finished quickly. And that would make you think that you need to do a lot more. Here's why I don't want you to do a whole bunch, because when you get to the hard part, you're not going to do it. You're going to find excuses. You're going to lose focus. So I want you to just give yourself the time that is needed and do it. And that might mean you need to set the whole week and writing out like what you're going to write for blogs because you've researched topics. You'll be looking at how you write. Is it friendly writing? You can go in Grammarly to find that out. You're going to look at all these things and you're going to get it ready. So when you go to build a site, you're not trying to find those things. So that's why you need the whole 2 weeks. And that's why we're doing this micro stuff. Because guys, each and every one of us got other things we're doing. You got maybe a family already. Maybe you're a single parent. Maybe you're going to a full-time job. Maybe you're taking Pilates classes. I don't want you to drop those things. I want you to take these micro steps because this is an add-on to your life in what's going on. It also is going to lessen your worry about money because now you're focusing on the things that is getting you to your goalposts. That's what I really want you to see and understand how money affects us daily. When you sit down and you procrastinate and you worry, you complain about money, you're pushing it further away. I just want you to know right now. When you want the money to come to you, that's not what we want to do. We want to learn a skill if it's beneficial to us. Don't go learn it just for learning's sake. If you don't need a new skill, practice the ones you have already and you're not good at. Practice the ones you're good already, that you know already, that you're not good at.
Okay, so then become more skilled in the things that you're good at.
Mm-hmm. Pay attention. Pay attention to self. Start looking after self. Inquire of self what self needs. If self need more time, give self more time. If things can be speed up a little bit at a time. A little bit at a time. Most people worry about repeating themselves, you know. It's like,
Yes.
or I'm going to give you this example. They wore a dress, and because a few people saw them in that dress, they can't wear the dress again. Girl, another 40% of the people didn't see you in the dress. Wear the dress, okay? Especially if it's fitting nice and thin. Just wear the dress. Change your earring, change the hairstyle, wear the dress. Don't go expense yourself in a new dress if your budget doesn't allow it. Wear the dress. And if somebody come to you and they say, I always like you in that dress. Didn't I see it at X, Y, and Z before? You say to them, because there's those people, the dress fit me so well. I enjoy wearing this dress. You love it? Do a pose, do something. Do not let them bring you down because we've got plans. Don't let anybody interrupt your plans.
Yes.
Nope. Get it together. I remember the first time I went on a cruise and I asked my friend, what do I wear? Because she's the one that set up everything. We just paid the money. And she told me a couple of things. I went online and I looked at all the things we need. It was me and my husband going, and I made a list. What he would need, what I would need, what would be. She told me the things we might be doing, and I got outfits accordingly. And I overpack. The second time around, I said, no, we're not doing that. We're being strategic. We don't want all that weight. We're carrying what we need. We planned it out. And the second trip, I learned that you can have your things steamed and pressed and laundered. I was like, okay, that's the route we're going. We're not getting on the cruise to do anything. So you learn, right? And you grow from it. So
I think I learned that once when I lost my luggage and I was visiting a relative, and I found that everything I needed could be bought on the other end.
The lesson you learned.
Or they had it.
Yeah.
I mean, if I needed toothpaste, they stocked toothpaste. They stocked toothbrushes. People buy extra stuff for some reason.
We do. And then we can't get rid of it. So
yeah,
all that stuff. And when I tell people about budget too, I always say, look at what you have. I mean, the person who is really to their core, I'll say, go in your pantry, make a list, make your grocery list, shop from your pantry, see what's there already. Don't run to the grocery store. I know you're going to tell me about gas. I had this client once. She says, well, Karen, when I go, I said, no. You can't leave the house without making sure you keep your grocery list in your car because you've got kids. And I don't want you to run and pick up 6 boxes of whatever snack and you had a 3 box at home. And then that money was needed for something else. And so you're always on the edge. I really want you to use your money wisely. I want you to be a good steward because when you are, it didn't matter how many kids you have, you're going to live abundantly because you understand what needs to happen. apartment. You got to do housekeeping. You got to. And not in the sense of cleaning. You got to do housekeeping of the things that is around you. You need to keep. Okay. So you want to pay attention. So, number two, why we need to get that sorted out ASAP. And I kind of blend that in just now, but you really do. And here's a couple of things, three minor things. Make a catalog. And I did this when I was in school, of everything in your household. And don't do it one day. Again, the micro steps. Go to the kitchen and decide, I'm going to catalog things in the kitchen this week. I did it when I had my first apartment. Get in there and catalog what I need, what I have, what I don't have. And then you write down what you want to acquire and when you want to acquire it, and get to each room and do the same thing. And the things that you don't have receipts for, you don't know about, I tell my budgeting client this, I said, put a sticker on it. It doesn't have to be the ideal price. You can go look up the model online. And if the TV was $400, but you had it for a while, now it's worth $200, put a sticker for $200 on it, so that you can see how much money is in your house. Here's the other thing about emotions and money. When you start understanding how rich you are inside your home, you stop feeling poor. You stop feeling broke. You stop feeling like you don't have anything.
You know what, Coach? Most of the time we have more than enough.
Yes.
We have more than enough. And I don't know if you can remember back in the day when our parents came home, they didn't necessarily have a plan, but they knew whatever was in there, they were going to make it work.
Yes.
We used to call it vibration cooking. What I got going on here?
Yeah.
What am I feeling?
Yeah. Yeah.
Am I feeling French toast for dinner? So be it. I got eggs and milk and bread.
That's what you're getting. That's what you're getting.
Exactly.
That's what you're getting. And you look around, and that's what Terry's mentioning there. Like you need to get that sorted out ASAP, because in Canada, and you guys probably have that at different banks, but Scotia like to say you're richer than you think. And they're really telling you about looking around on what you have and making it work, understanding. The time you take to watch a TV show, and I'm not telling you not to watch, I like TV, guys, let me just clear that up. The time you take to watch YouTube, and I like YouTube, and I'm not saying not to watch it, but I'm saying get some things done for yourself and then watch as the reward. Because you're not going to be watching the show or watching a YouTube and saying, I wish I could do that, because you can say, I can do that because I've got a printer already. And I've got if you were watching a show, somebody making something. If you like to sew, I got a machine already and I got some scrap fabric. I don't have to go and buy fabric, because the thing that the design that I want to make and try out, I can do it on scrap fabric. I can make it for a doll. If I don't have young ones in my house, go to the dollar store and buy a doll. And yes, it's not to scale, but it's your practice zone. It's you practicing. When I started my nightwear line, I took all my daycare kids and I took their measurement, and that's how I made the baby clothes. I designed it, but I wanted true fit. And my first customers were who? The daycare parents. They were so fascinated with my design line that they would say to me, Caren, I don't know if she's going to sleep in this. I think we're going to wear it out. And the material, like they would never buy one. I remember this first parent bought 3 for me. I'm not going to lie, I was like, 3, because I wasn't selling them cheap. Let me just tell you right now, it wasn't a $5 nightwear line. It was $35 and up. And she bought 3. And she came back the next day and she said, I really like them. But within a month, she's like, you know what? I'm going to order for my niece and nephew. I'm going to order 3 more for my daughter, because I don't know what it is, but she doesn't want to come out of it. But the fabric was a double flannel knit and it was so soft. And when you wash it, it's softer. So people, once they experience it, the price was not a problem anymore. It was like, could we get the size? I remember my son was ordering some from his friend. And when he gave me the size, I said, I'm out. I didn't realize, because I was selling so much that I would be out and not realize I'm out of a certain style, because the style was selling. That also dictated me not making others, because a specific number of styles designs were really selling well. And when you start, I'm going to turn it over to what I'm talking about now. So when you start sorting things out and understanding, you start seeing a flex of money coming in, and you're like, where did the money come from? Oh, it's there because you're not doing things that is not aligning with what you plan to do. when you take inventory of your home, you start A, I just said, richer than you think. B, you're thinking, I don't have to spend as much anymore. It's not like you don't spend money anymore, but you're spending money in the places where you want to spend money. Let's say you wanted coaching, you say, I can't afford coaching. But if you start plugging holes, you can see you can get coaching. Maybe because maybe you don't even need a full package. You just need to get 3 or 10 things in to move you to the next place. And now you can afford to do it on a monthly budget because you cut back on certain things. I had a client last year and she says, Karen, I can't afford you. And I said, it's cool. Just take my free information. And she's like, no, I need to talk with you. I'm going to find a way. And so she find a way, and we had 6 sessions. That's where her budget lies. And she find a way to pay for 6 sessions because, and it just helped her get from where she was to where she needs to be. She knows she needed accountability, but she also needed to understand why she worked and behave in this manner. She wanted to fix those inner things to get her moving in the right direction. And I am happy to see that she's flourishing. She went on vacation. That was the thing she complained about. She's like, I work so hard. I'm a nurse and I can't vocation. Like there's always this, I never have enough. Like you can do it. You can do it. You just have to figure out how you're going to do it. And you're going to have to want to do it because I'm going to give you some hard things to do. And she was willing so she can do what she wants to do. Talking about the goal again, that
Yes.
goalpost, she know one of the things she wanted to do was that. And in her eyes, it's like, I've got a lot of kids. She does. And how am I going to take a vacation? And they're going to want to come. Some of them are old enough to help pay for themselves. But how are we going to go? She's got 8 kids. How are we going to go on vacation? Well, let me tell you, except one of them that didn't want to go, and he's back in Canada here. Everybody else is that went on the vacation, and one of her grandkids. Yeah, they did. Here's what you're going to tell the girls. Here's how they're going to contribute. Here's how you're going to contribute. Here's how this is going to get planned. And you're going to travel because that's what you want to do. Goalposts.
And a common goal.
Yes.
If everybody's working toward the same goal, it's probably quicker and easier to get there.
Anytime somebody tells me I don't take a vacation, I'm like, do you want to? Because if you don't want to, it's fine. But do you want to? Yes. Then why aren't you? Oh, X, Y, Z, A, B, C. All excuses. Because if you truly want a vacation, I don't care where you want to go, we'll plan for it. We'll start you small. Maybe you have to do a vacation where it's where you live, but it's still a vacation. Which meaning, when I explained that to a client once, she's like, what do you mean? I said, you're going to take 3 days off and that's your vacation. And we're going to spend it well. You're going to research.
Staycation, yeah. We call that a staycation.
People call it staycation. But I wanted it to be her vacation. Yeah, I didn't want to call it a staycation simply because if she knows she was staying home, where her mindset was at, she was going to find things to do at home. So she had to be going. And so this is how we plan. I'm going to tell you guys quickly how we plan. We set for the 3 days, and I let her research the things she want to do right here in Toronto, or take the GO train and go a little further, depending on the money she has. And when we realized where the money was at was just $100 and something, what are we going to do with that? We plan out an outfit for each day. She had 2 outfits a day that she was going to change into, and the activity she was going to do, and transportation, eating, and everything. And we sat down and we come up with how to make the food she's going to try an experience as though she was out and about. She's going to make a friend when she travel, because when you travel, it's nice to say hi and talk to people. And she was going to be a foreigner right here in Toronto for the next 3 days. And no kid was going to give her anything to do, and no hubby is going to expect anything because she's on a 3-day vacation. Now, the hubby could join if he wants to, but she's on a 3-day vacation. So no cooking, no washing, no cleaning, no nothing like that she's doing. So she got up in the morning, do her prayer, do all her routine, do her stuff, get dressed, and she went out and about doing what she set out to do. Salsa dancing, rib fest. She's like, can't believe I did this right here. And I had some change for my budget.
That's amazing.
Because we planned it out, and she get to enjoy it and meet friendships and talk to people. She said, I think I even left with in this street, I think I got a friend that may turn into something more. I'm like, go for it, girl. Don't be wasting your time. Take out pictures with people, We had the bus ride that happened downtown in Eaton Center. She took a bus ride with people who come to visit, but they don't care if you live here or not. So she
Mhm.
was sightseeing with a group of
Sightseeing,
people,
yes.
having fun. And because she stick to the routine and then try to do things in the house, I said that's the key. If you start with house chores or you start getting back into routine, the vacation is over.
Yes. Mhm.
And so she had those 3 days to herself, and then she took a full week off work, and she had those 3 days to herself, and then the other 2 days she just get herself back into getting back to work. For the Monday, she goes, I can't tell you how good what it did for me. I'm still shocked. She keeps saying, I'm so shocked that I had such a good time. So if this is all you could do, that's all you could do. But pencil it in. Pencil it in. When I can't travel, I still have my vacation time. I still take it off. And when I take it off, I mean I take it off. I inform everybody I'm not going to be cooking this week. It's free to bring in takeout, free to somebody to come and take over and cook, but I'm just not available. I can't babysit. Like if I wasn't here, I couldn't do it. So I just can't do it. I'm just taking this time for myself. And you guys see me, I'm here. When you don't see me, I'm not here. That's just the way it is. And I'm not telling you where I'm going. And I got a good sized family. And my mom needs help with certain things. And I just recruit one of my kids. I'm like, okay, you're going to need this for grandma because this week, I'm like, oh, yeah, mom. Yeah. She's going to need to be reminded, looked after. Okay, mom. So you're seeing me, but I'm off. And my kids understand it by now. So I'm
Yes.
off. Mom, you're off? Yeah. We're no further conversation. And number 3, last but not least, how will this affect us if we don't do that in the beginning? So wherever you are, that's where it started off. Wherever you are is your beginning. And you set your tone. Like I'm off on the 15th of December all the way to the 15th of January. That's my tone. I'm off for a month. No matter what I'm doing in here, I'm off for a month. Sometimes during the year, I take social media breaks. I take a full week off of social media, and that is for recouping, keeping my eyes rested, not being pulled into things. I just take that time off and I don't do no social media. Usually I don't watch any TV, no matter what I want to see. There's a lot of walks, a lot of reading, a lot of finding out what Karen needs and that sort of thing. And right through the year, I have breaks where I take a week off, 3 days off. Could be to visit a friend, go away for a long weekend, book a hotel, and still visit a friend, but have a place to go back as my sanctuary. So I'm not in the thick of things with them if I don't want to be. But wherever you are,
Mm-hmm.
you need to begin there. And why I say it affects you is because if you're never getting this downtime, you're never able to have your think tank refilled. You're never able to be quiet and just receive. Most of us are givers. So we give, and it's hard to take. We give even when or we were empty, where we're just like pulling from nothing. Um, so when you have those things planned out, I plan my year in October. So in a few months, I'll be sitting down for 2025. And
Mm-hmm.
so vacation is planned, time off is planned, my exercise is planned, food is planned, like what direction I'm going with that. Guys, I plan down to snacks and when it happens. Like I have a full on spreadsheet of things that is planned out. Debt repayment, I have debts due. When is going to be over, or when is a specific thing is being attacked. All my business expenses is set up, and so I know the dates that are recurring. I try to pay everything the beginning of their year cycle, so I don't have that monthly recurring. Only the ones that don't allow me, but the ones that allow me, I pay. So I know my business cost. If new things pop up, it gets on my Excel spreadsheet as an added. If I am working on a certification, I got my timeline for the certification and when I'm going to finish, pass my exam, and I'm good to go. And what I'm learning in the meantime, yeah, my spreadsheet is ridiculous. Several pages. Of different things. But here, guys, because I've been doing it for a while now, and the yearly budget that I implemented 3 years ago. So when I sit down to do it, I don't have to start from scratch anymore because I
Mm-hmm.
have been doing it. So it's about plugging in the numbers. What I wanted was to pay myself. Did I hit my goal? When did I dip? All these things allow me to see the months that my business didn't do well, the ones that it did well. What could I have done better? Because I always have
Mhm.
notes next to the things that hasn't been doing well and the things that have done well, and just the kind of mood I was in, and what upset me, what caused me to drift or differ, all those sort of things. I tend to pay attention, and that's why I really say, I talked to you guys about it, I think it was last week, about really teaching women how to love themselves and look after themselves to the core, to be able to sit down and not feel guilty in doing the things I've just been describing.
Mhm. So Dr. Tachi says, good morning. Good morning,
Good
doctor.
morning, Doc.
Yes, you know what? I have found this conversation to be really, really beneficial, coach, because I don't think we sit down enough and think about why money is important. What's driving us? How do we manage it? And what it should be doing for us as an individual. Because
Mm-hmm.
after a while, our why becomes so much about other people
Yes, yes, yeah,
that we're not really enjoying.
exactly. I always tell people my why. If your why is money, you need to say that. My why is I need to make some money, and stop saying. I tell mom, stop saying for your kids. I'm doing this. I know we've been schooled out, but that's never my belief. I believe I'm doing it for myself. And the side effect is that my kids benefit out of it.
Hmm.
My mom, my sisters at the time benefit out of it. So I'm really doing this for me because I need to be filled up. And when I'm filled up, everybody benefit from it. When I'm empty, you get nothing from me. So I want to be filled up, and then my kids get the benefit of it. And then whomever else around me gets supported by it. But I'm not doing it for my children's benefit. I don't. And I'm not saying you shouldn't, but I personally do not do the job, the businesses, the things that I get excited about for my children. Because one thing I learned early on is when they get old enough, they might even want to do anything I'm doing. They might not want to take over the things that I love to do. So I don't want to force it on them. So I'm definitely doing it for me.
That is so true. How many people have left their children legacies that they didn't even want?
Hmm.
And so they let it go to seed. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it makes sense. It makes sense to make sure that what you're doing is centered in your heart, not in
Mm-mm,
someone else's,
mm-mm,
so that
mm-mm.
your heart is in it.
Yes. I like that. Yes.
Well, guys, I want to thank Coach for, every time I come in here, I feel better when I leave.
Well,
And I
thank you.
leave with something concrete about what's going on in my business or in my life.
Hmm.
Both, right? Because so I want to encourage everyone to take a look at Coach Karen's course right here, and I'll put that in the chat. And also, Coach Karen, if is able to give you a complimentary session, so you can schedule it right here, and you can actually talk to her in person. Wow. And I'm going to say this again. Coach Karen has run a number of businesses. She has run a janitorial service, a daycare. She's been in fashion and wholesale and retail. Uh, her resume is extensive, and all of these are successful ventures. Okay, so so I highly recommend that you talk to Coach Karen, and she's willing to give you a complimentary session. And this is the link to do that. In addition to that, I want to remind you that if you're looking to become a part of the BizChicks community, you can simply text Biz to 33777 or go to bizchicks.net.
.net.
We'd love to help you share what it is you do and how you serve with our community. Guys, I want to remind everybody that First Mondays is coming up.
Oh,
We'll be at Seasons 52 in Sacramento, California, and that will be starting at 11:30 in the afternoon. So if you're living in the Sacramento, California area, you want to go over to our website, or you can go to what is that? I can't think of the site. Anyway, we'll be talking more about it, but First Mondays is going to be happening at Seasons 52 in Bright. That's what it is. Get a ticket, or you can get a ticket at the door. Come
mm.
on over. We'd love to have you come and share and learn more about how to run a profitable business that's fun to run.
To run, yes.
Because we're here, to help you take the hassle
That's what out of the hustle.
out of the hustle. Oh my goodness, guys. We love you, and we'll be here tomorrow talking happy, healthy habits with Robin Shimizu and friends.
Thank you.
In the meantime, have a great day. And remember, it's okay to make money in your
It
business.
is
So go in front of
front
your
of
own.
your own line.
Have a great day, everyone. Bye bye.